Welcome to the Sports Resort,
the People's Sports Show. Real talk unfiltered. With your host, Garrett Jonkins.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Sports Resort with D. Junk. Today, I got my guy, Alex Molden on. Molden, how you pronounce that? Alex Molden?
Molden, yeah. Like golden, but Molden.
Molden. Alex, man, was a first-round draft pick out of Oregon, University of Oregon, right? Who you got drafted by? The Saints?
Saints, yep. Saints. Back in 1996.
96?
Yeah.
Man, that's almost, how many years ago? 20?
Hey, man, come on, man. What's that? Damn near 30. Damn near 30 years ago. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. So, Alex, quick question. Coming out, right? You from Oregon, right?
No, I'm from Colorado.
Where you from?
I'm from Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs.
Huh.
Yeah.
Colorado Springs. I didn't know that.
Yep.
So how was recruiting from you? How did you get to Oregon from Colorado Springs?
Man, it was one of those things that I wanted to get out of the state. I wanted to see like what this whole football deal, where it could take me. I used it as a vehicle. And this was at the time, man, when Colorado just won the national championship back in 1991. And so it was great. It was cool. They was on me. They wanted me, in-state guy. But the thing is like I was thinking bigger picture. It was Colorado. They played in the Big Eight. And if you know anything about football back then, the Big Eight, man, that was smash mouth. They run the ball 30 times a game, right? 30, 40 times a game. Wishbone and all that stuff, man. I want to play in a pro style of scheme and face pro style offenses. And so I looked at, man, what did the Pac-10 have to offer? And then also, what is the SEC? And so it kind of like I was thinking bigger picture. Like I want to face, passing offenses where they throw the ball 40 something times a game. So I just kind of used it as a vehicle, and I want to play early. My dream picture, man, was this. I want to be a 4-year starter. I want to become a All-American. I want to be, first team, all conference, all that type of stuff. And I want to play in the Rose Bowl. I want a chance to win a Rose Bowl. And all that stuff came to fruition. We didn't win it, but we went to the Rose Bowl, which was the first time we played Penn State in 94. When they was number one, they was a juggernaut, undefeated. This offense, man, was a machine.
Who they had back then? Kajana Carter, was he playing?
Look at you. Kajana Carter. Yeah. The quarterback, Kerry Collins.
Kerry Collins.
Collins
played a long time in the NFL.
Played a long time. Played it. He was on my team with the Saints. I think back in 99, I think. But yeah, they had, man, a tight end, Brady. He played for a long time in the league. They had, like, their offense, I want to say they had like 4 or 5 first-round draft picks. that year and the next year. Yeah, they was tough.
Who was your quarterback at Oregon? Was it, I can't remember his name. Who's your quarterback?
You don't know. You ain't going to remember. It's Danny O'Neal.
Okay, I went to remember. I'm thinking of somebody. I'm thinking of, I can't even think of his name. I think he was a first-round pick, too.
Oh, no. Nuh-uh. No.
Crap. Who was it at? My brain fried. Hey, man, that's kind of cool, man. So you get to Oregon, have a great career, become a first-round draft pick. You played in the league, 8, 9 years?
8 years. 1 and 10, cool. But they kicked me out.
Man, so you was with the who? The Saints and who else?
Yeah, so I was drafted by the Saints. I played there for 5 years, and I was a free agent. And the Chargers called on day one. Mm-hmm. And I ended up going down there. I was there for 2 years. And then I was with back then the Redskins. They signed me, and then they let me go. And then I got picked up by my hometown, Detroit, where I was born at. So I had grandma. And my uncles.
You had everybody.
Yeah.
So, hey, you played with Fast Freddie with the Saints?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You talking about McCrary?
Yeah.
That's my guy. He was a young cat. He was a young cat when we played together. Yep.
Yeah. It's probably just not coming in. Man, so fast forward now, man. We were talking the other day. Yep. Now your kids are playing ball now in sports, man. That's how I met you years. I don't even know how many years ago it was.
Oh, this was, man, I remember it was 20, I want to say the summer of 2015. The summer of 2015.
And I just want to give the people a quick rundown as we was talking, and I met you there through Sammy Knight.
Yep.
And Sammy like, yeah, that's my buddy from Oregon, his son from Oregon. I'm like, oh damn, they come all the way down here. Then talking with you, was like, hey, you told your son who's in the NFL now that, hey man, you think you good? Let's travel around and go see what's out there. Let's travel to Texas. Let's travel to California. Let's go see these different camps. And big ups to you, because I never forget that day. I mean, shit, if I think about it, it was probably 1,000 kids out there that Nike.
Yeah, it was a bunch of them. It was a bunch of them.
It's competitive. It was competitive. You know, I wish Nike come back with those. We need to call field night or something. Man, you in Oregon, pull up on field night, tell them, hey, man, we need these camps back, man.
I know people. I'm going to do that.
Them camps was competitive, but it showed your son that, hey, you go out here and compete against some Texas guys, right? You think, you're a baller. How was that experience? And what was your thought process on that, taking your boy around like that?
Oh yeah, man. So man, we had a plan, right? Me and my wife, and it was like, okay, we got Elijah, who plays defensive back, same position as me, and he wanted to, he had skills to take his game to the next level, to get college paid for.
Let me ask you a question. When did you see in Elijah that he was special, right? He's your son, right? You're around him every day. You play DB. Of course, right? Kids see what their dad do, especially DBs, right? We all want to play DB, right?
Yeah.
When did you see that he had it in it?
Man, I'm not, just athleticism or?
Yeah, correct.
Dude, it had to have been maybe when he was like 5 or 6.
Okay.
Like,
what he did, the backwards flip off the roof or something? What he do?
This dude, man, he was just always bouncy.
Okay.
This dude, like, he bounced. He never walked anywhere. He ran any and everywhere. Okay. And so, we got him into sports early, but, his first sport, man, it was gymnastics. He played a ton of soccer, and to see him like scoring like 8, 9 goals a game, we was like, man, okay. So we tried to keep him away from football for as long as possible. We played baseball. This dude, I'll never forget, man, when we was in San Diego, this dude had, and I'm not a big baseball guy, but when he made this particular play, it was like everybody stopped and it got quiet. And I was like, I think that's good. What did he do? He got an unassisted triple play, meaning he was playing like second base or something, but pop fly. He caught it, tagged dude out who was running to second, tagged him out, and then ran to third and tagged it. It was something crazy, but he had this knack for just athleticism and competitiveness.
Did your wife play sports?
She was a cheerleader back in high school. So
she had a little bounce in her.
She had a little bounce in her.
A little bounce in her. Little flexibility. Okay.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders are athletes now.
No, straight up. Yeah, for real.
Do some stuff I cannot do at all. Man, that's pretty cool there. So kind of back to the point where you saw he was athletic and your wife put a plan. I like what you said, putting a plan in place. I always tell people, and I'm around kids and parents, I'm like, you have to put a plan in place. You don't have a plan, it's kind of, you just don't know where you're going.
You don't know where you're going.
Just driving a car, you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, and for us, we was like, okay, he started to show this athleticism and whatnot, and we was like, man, look, you're in Portland, Oregon. Nobody respects football up here in Oregon. I'm going to be truthful. It didn't. When I was playing ball, I see the type of talent that comes out. They're 4-star or whatever, and then they go off to college and you never hear about them again. So I just want to make sure that he's not just getting caught up in all the hype. Like, he's the man in the state of Oregon. I said, man, if you're really good, you'll be the man down in California, up in Washington, out in Las Vegas. I said, we need to go. We're going to take you to these different camps, these showcase events in places where it's hotbeds, right? Texas, right? Where there's Houston or Dallas, whatever. We go down there. And what we did when we ran into you, and it's a crazy story, but it just shows a little bit of what it takes, right? And so I booked the flight to go from Oregon down to Houston, right? And I made a mistake and I booked it from San Jose, right? Because we can go to San Jose, California, and then to Houston. I made a mistake and booked it from San Jose, South America, something, some country that, and I was booking my own flight. And so we get down to San Jose, and I'm like, yeah, we're supposed to be on this flight. I don't see our name. He said, Mr. Molden, you booked that from San Jose, whatever. Not this San Jose. And I was like, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. Can you help us out? She said, yes, but it's going to be some delays and all this type of stuff. Man, we end up getting delayed. The only flight they had was a red eye to Dallas. And then from Dallas, I had to pray and get a rental car. And then we drove. Dude, we did not sleep. He did not sleep. He slept barely in the car. And we drove from Dallas to Houston. It opened up, right? You remember, it opened up at like 8 o'clock, I think. We got in town into Houston at the spot at 7. There's our luggage, it's still in Dallas. We get there, no cleats, no gloves, no nothing. And so I knew some guys, who worked on the Nike circuit. I said, hey, man, look, Elijah doesn't have anything. Like, our baggage is lost. We don't have any. Man, we take care of it. We got you. And so when I parked, and I told him, I said, look, nobody knows who you are out here. Out west, they do. Nobody knows who you are. And all the stuff we went through, you got to understand this, son. Nobody cares. Don't come out here with any excuses or anything that nobody cares. You still have to ball. And so he was like, okay, cool. We got out. He went out there, and everybody was getting interviewed and stuff. Before we got in the stadium, there was cats from around, that people know. And they was getting interviewed, and I was loving it. I said, they don't know who you are. You get to be sneaky. You get to sneak on it. And then based off of how you do, man, now you could possibly get the love. Man, he went out there, balled out. He ran like one of the fastest times in the 40. He competed. He was a camp MVP and got the invite to the opening.
Oh, that's badass.
So I was like, you did that in Houston. Who's that?
What's the running back? Dobbins was there. They played running back last year with the Chargers.
Oh, is that right?
He was at that same camp your son was 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, he was there, and he ran super fast, got invited to open, and of course, ended up going to Ohio State in the NFL now. Yeah. He was there, too. I never forget that day. Because I was looking back on it the other day before we got hopped on. I'm like, who was at that camp, too? I'm like, oh, shit, Dobbins was there.
Man.
He's from LaGrange, Texas, a little bitty school.
Wow.
Small little town. I mean, you blink your eye, you'll ride right through it. LaGrange, Texas is known for more so the MS-150. They have a bike race every year and goes through LaGrange.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
look at that.
It's kind of interesting. So that's cool, man. So he comes to that camp, man, has a great camp. Y'all travel around. He has a successful high school career, moves on, plays at, what college did he go to?
University of Washington.
Man, he goes to Washington. Balls out, has a great time there. Now gets drafted to the NFL. How was that feeling, man, as a dad who played in the NFL, to see your son sitting there and you like, dude, this is crazy. Like, did you feel like you about to get drafted too? Like, did you? Huh?
Man, I was more, I was more nervous, man. I was more nervous because, it's one thing. The thing about the NFL in the draft process and combine, and at that time, because of COVID, he didn't get, they didn't do a combine. So everything was pro days, right? And he had ended up straining his hamstring during his pro day. So, that played a part of it. But you go off of expectations, right? When you're getting drafted, and even when I was going through the process, there was an expectation, right? I was projected to go in the first round, and I was just like, where, right? And then you start to get information from your agent and, what teams tell your agent, and you start to kind of get an understanding, right? Well, Elijah got, he was expected to go in the second or third round, and you get more information. It's like, man, you should be going around between 33 and, 75, right? And so we're going through this, and I'm through. Oh, Dallas. Oh, okay, yeah, they need a nickel. Oh, this team needs a nickel. And you go through it. Well, he gets drafted number 100. And so He's
What was
upset.
that, third round or fourth round?
That was third round. That was third round. And so he's a little upset and pissed. But I'm looking at the big picture. I said, dude, understand this. Yes, they might have undervalued you, but you get to sneak up on the scene, right? If you come in there and if you start, man, they're not expecting you to come in and start, right? But if you come in there and you win the spot, you're already exceeding your contract. They're not expecting you to be a starter until year 2 or 3, right? For our first round, you're supposed to come in and start right off the jump. So just understand, like, man, you can come in, man, it's a good fit with Tennessee. They're winning, man. That's a good fit.
Huh, man. Hey, I followed him, man. He had a great. He balled out at Tennessee. He got some sneaky picks, here and there. Same thing with now. Then he goes to the Chargers, do the same thing. Sneaky picks here and there.
Yeah.
That's when he left Tennessee and went to the Chargers, right?
Yeah. Tennessee traded him. They had a new GM, which he was only there for a year, and then he got fired. But they traded him right before the first game, the week before the first game, and so he went to the Chargers, and that was the best fit for him because he played nickel, right? And you know this, man. The more positions that you can play, the better off you're going to be. If you're just locked in at corner, man, you are limited. But if you can play corner, you can play nickel, dime, safety, man, that causes you to have a longer career.
Man, your son reminds me of Jimmy Ward. I don't know if you know Jimmy Ward. He played for Jimmy might be coming up on year 13 right now, something crazy. Jimmy coming out of college, he's a first rounder for the 49ers. Played the 49ers for about 10 years.
I love his game.
Correct.
Yes.
Came out, played safety, played corner, and he played nickel. But now he's a nickel now, and he coming up on year 13. He's still playing at a high level. He kind of reminds me of they kind of both. I watch him play. I watch a lot of football. They kind of both play kind of same. Jimmy will get some sneaky picks here and there too.
Yeah.
And make a few tackles. And not you don't really hear about him out. Besides watching football, he don't really do nothing crazy out the field.
That's good.
So boom. So now he balls out the Chargers, gets a new contract. Now he's living a life, married, kids, blah blah blah. Now you have another son. This dude spits out D1 athletes, bro. Like, hey man, send me the recipe for the kids, man. I need get these people the food. What is your wife cooking at home and stuff, man?
Man, I can't tell you, man. They just.
So what grade is your son in now? The next one.
He's a sophomore, about to be next year. He'll be a junior. Yeah, he'll be a junior. And
so what he playing? DB too? Right?
Yeah, he plays DB. He's a corner.
If you're watching this podcast and you need some DB advice, hit up Alex right here. Dude is getting D1 athletes out there playing DB. But hey, man, that's a blessing now. But man, this kind of, let me ask you a question, because you play ball, right? And too, now you work with athletes on the training side of it. How is training different from when you played, right? Is it any different to you? Man,
training has come a long way. I think even when I first started training athletes, and I don't do it anymore. I just train my son. But it's come a long way, especially like with the technology and whatnot. I think the education part of it, like when I started, man, it was more like, man, I learned these different drills that I played, and this is supposed to help you become a better athlete, right? And that's just not the case. When I started learning, man, you got to teach a skill, not just drills. And a lot of parents do this, and maybe some trainers do it, but you just lay out some ladders, some cones, and then boom, you do this. You have to actually teach the skill of it, the skill of planning and driving, the skill of a 40 start, the skill of, increasing your vertical, the different foundations that it takes. And then once you learn that, then you can add the skill aspect of it, right? And then for me, I used to do skill, concentrate on that, and then drill, and then we'll make it real. We have a competitive aspect of it. But nowadays, man, athletes are getting smarter. The trainers are getting smarter, and there's an injury prevention part of it as well. And I think that's the way it's going. I mean, that's how it was at the highest level.
I have a thing I tell all the athletes, people I work with. The recovery and taking care of your body has to match the training. It can't be I train, and I don't take care of my body at all. Yeah. I always say it has to match it. You know, it has to. It has to be. It has to match that. So, and especially now with all the resources out there, such shitload of resources for athletes out there now that at their disposal. You know, so I think that it has to match it. You know, as much as you train, you have to take care of your body because your body all you got, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, you can't perform at a high level, you know, if you're injured or things like that. I definitely think that. So let's kind of hop away from the sports right quick. I know you got to go play golf with Jack Nicholson or Scotty Scheffler or somebody, man, or Rory or something. I don't know if them guys in Oregon right now. Is the weather nice out there? Them boys.
It's very nice. Yeah, it's very nice.
They might be out there with. They Nike guys, so they might be out there. Let's hop on that, man. How you know, because we had a good conversation the other day, man, and we was talking about character. What's your main outlook on that, right? Because you told me, yeah, your kids are all successful. You know, you got a great family, you're blessed. But it wasn't so much, you know, your son Elijah getting drafted and all that. That was cool, but you was like, dude, his character, man, I love that about my son. What's your outlook on that?
Yeah, man, and it's you know, me and my wife. So we have 8 kids, and Elijah is just he's number 2.
Yeah, hey, you got 2 4-man teams over there.
Right, yeah, man. Yeah.
What your girls play? Softball, cheer?
So they did basketball, they ran track and played soccer.
They did.
Yeah.
Oh, they play soccer.
Yeah, so we try to keep them active, man. We don't want anybody just laying around watching TV.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you on that. No laying around.
Yeah. So we keep them active, but man, our thing was really we care more about not just like the touchdowns and the 3-pointers and all that type of stuff, because all that stuff fades, right? You need to understand, like, number one, who you are, because there's going to be one point, and it happened to me, is, you know, when you do something and you pour it in, you sacrifice, you do all these things to reach a certain level, and you maintain it and you do it at a high level for a long period of time. If you're not careful, that eat, sleep, drink, whatever sport that is, it can become who you are. You can become your identity. And that's dangerous because you're doing something, right? And then you stop, whether you decide to or you kicked out, right? And if you're not careful, you're lost. And so we never wanted that to happen to any of our children. And it started off, man, at home. Everything starts at home. So I want my kids to be, man, good people first. Damn all the sports and stuff, that's great. You can use it as a vehicle to get, you know, a lot of things. That's cool. But man, who are you? Are you a good person? Man, when you're not around, how do people talk about you? You know what I'm saying? Like me and my wife, we do backflips when people come up to us and they tell us about our kids' character in a positive way without us asking, hey, how did my kid do in school today? No, if a teacher or if a parent, hey, just want to let you know, man, your son helped my son cross the crosswalk. Man, that was super cool. That's the type of stuff that we care about. The football, the sports thing, that's cool. But man, the type of people that they are, right? Because that's the stuff that's going to last. That's the thing that's going to open doors for you when you're done playing your sport. Whether, you know, jumping into a new career, a new relationship, whatever, man, like for us as parents, especially parents of daughters, I don't care about, man, what sports you know, guys playing stuff, man. Who are you? Who are you showing up in the world to be?
That's real. That's real. Because I use that same thing in my daughter. She's very athletic. Both of my girls, man, they can do anything, soccer, whatever, right? Yeah. But she likes to sing, so she's in the choir at school. So that's her thing. Like, yeah. And they got to go to practice at 6 a.m. before school starts once a week, right? And she 9, 10 years old, getting up. She goes to sing in the choir. Wow. You know, that's her thing. And then the school asked her, hey, we'd like you to say a speech in front of everybody, you know, during service. And, you know, it's packed in there. First, she was nervous. I'm like, you got it. She studied her speech, and she got up there and said it, whoop, and everybody like, man, she talks so good. Now that's her thing now. She likes talking and singing and writing. So it goes back, right? She has an identity outside of sports. Like I try not to I try not to just sports. So yeah, I post a lot of that, blah, blah, blah. But she likes to sing, do artwork, do all kinds of stuff, right? Because like you said, you know, and I probably was a victim of that growing up. I mean, I did sports so much. Once sports was over with, it took me a while to find my identity because I was like, dude, all I knew was workout, football, baseball practice. And once basically I got kicked out, it's like, dude, you gotta find something to do. So you sit around and you just like looking at the wall like, man, I don't know what to do, right? You're gonna try to go work out a little more, much as you can, because you think you might got another shot in you, right? You like, somebody. Then after a while, you like, shit, ain't nobody calling me, man. I'm just in shape for nothing. And you sitting around, and you gotta catch yourself, right? Now you got a family, you gotta focus on them and kids. So it can catch you. I just hope a lot of athletes, man, that watch this, our parents, make sure they getting their identity, man, outside of the sports, man. That's that. And to go back to what you're saying, your character. Make sure you're doing something more than just taking them to training and workouts, right? Like, make sure there's more to that, man.
It is, man. And it's funny, man. All the stuff that you talked about, man. I ended up writing a book, right? And it's called The Ultimate Playbook for Athletes. And your copy is in the mail. All right, your copy, your copy's in the mail. Yeah, but it's just to help parents, help athletes understand, like, man, they have such a wonderful platform because they're an athlete, and they need to understand, like, with that, man, how do you become a leader? We always talk about like leadership. He's a good leader, she's a good leader, and typically it's because they're the best athlete. They don't really understand like how to influence others. And so I wrote this book, man, to understand, like, how do you influence people and how do you recognize it when somebody's influencing you, whether it's, you're a coach or an employer or whatever. It's such a beautiful tool when you can understand influence, because it helps you become a better parent, a better coworker, a better husband, a better wife. So, yeah, man, I just started to, understand, man, what other skills did I have outside of football? And for me, man, it was leadership, it's speaking and coaching.
Yeah, man, and I mentioned I didn't know you from Timbuktu, and you just had a good vibe about yourself. That's what made me reach back out to you. Now, like, man, I had a good vibe with him. That was 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I got to get Sammy on him. I'm going to track him down. He hiding somewhere.
Track him down. He be hiding.
He running his girls around with soccer right now. I think he got two more left that's still playing, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he running them around. Yeah. But I'm gonna go find him, man. Because he got 4 girls all doing soccer, all playing.
Yeah.
Potentially college sports, man. But hey, Alex, I know you gotta go run, man. You got some things to do, golf. Hey, man, don't go out there and hit nobody with the ball. I'm
going to try not to.
Hey, I'm getting a little better at it day by day, man. Appreciate you having you on, man. I'm going to go check the mail for that book, man. Anything else you want to say before we hop off? Are you good?
No, man. I think, it starts at home. And, one of the biggest things you can do is hold your kids accountable. Hold them accountable to where they want to go. They can't, especially as athletes, they can't move the same way regular kids move if they want them.
True. Can't be right?
So you have to be different. You have to be disciplined, right? And then the last thing, man, hey, if you want a copy of the book, check it out. Go to my website, alexmolden.com. I try to keep it simple, G-Junk.
Hey, man, that's cool, man. We're going to end it on that. Hey, this G-Junk signing off on the Sports Resort with Alex Molden, Oregon University. NFL, he got 8 kids doing all kinds of stuff. Athlete, white cheerleader, backwards flip, all that. Appreciate you having me on, Alex. Peace out.